Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second and the last day of the QA Meetup by DataArt Armenia, together with Adobe, Quantori, Miro, and Align Technologies. Thank you all for coming, for joining us today on this Friday evening. I already see many familiar faces from yesterday, so thank you for coming today too. Today as well, on the agenda, we have outstanding group of speakers, each ready for a knowledge-packed session. So please get ready to ask your questions at the end of the speeches, during the Q&A. And let's continue where we left off yesterday. So we kick off with Mohammad Monfared, leading the way as the Team Lead QA Automation Engineer at DataArt. Please welcome.
Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm super glad to have this opportunity to talk about something really interesting happening in test automation. Sorry. It's okay? Okay, great. So we are today going to talk about WebDriver BiDi Protocol. It's a little bit technical, but I will try hard to make it easier. And also, we are going to see some interesting things happening, actually. So, some boring introduction about myself. I'm test automation architect, 12 years in IT, or it's been 8 years. I'm working in QA and QA automation. I'm mentor. I will appreciate if you can join me at Release. We can have a meeting. I'm YouTuber, blogger, and blah, blah. Okay. And also, an important thing, I'm Cypress ambassador. But I did a lot of things with Selenium and other tools. Okay, so these are our agenda. We are going to talk. We are going to talk about WebDriver specifications that all of us know about it, about Selenium, web platform test, which is a very interesting project to test any web-based tools against a specification and a standards. And some history about automation, WebDriver ecosystem, Chrome DevTools. And also we'll introduce WebDriver BiDi, what is it and why we should aware of this. It is really important. And then the future of it, and at the end we will have a demo session. Okay, I have a question from you guys. How many of you did or doing automation with Selenium? Just two? Oh, okay. And other tools? Okay, cool. For sure, when we want to do automation, the first tools come to our mind or we'll hear, yeah, it is Selenium, but there are a lot of tools. We are going to see the history of automation and talking about WebDriver BiDi. And those guys that tried to do the automation or have experience with automation and stuff with any tools, have you ever faced this issue, or you're stuck, you're sitting behind your laptop, you're running your test, you change something and you're waiting for it to be run, to be passed. And you're thinking with yourself, why? It is so slowly, how it can be automated? I can do it manually faster, right? So there are some reasons. Let's go back and see what is happening actually. We have web specifications. So we have a Wide Web Consortium, which is responsible for defining the standards of the web at all. So we have WebDriver standard, which defines how automation tools should be created and how they can actually interact with browsers, how user can interact with these tools, and Selenium are created on the top of this standard. So keep in your mind, we have W3C and we have WebDriver specifications. Okay, this is the current one that Selenium is using. So we have very interesting and also, by the way, there are a lot of QR codes because these links are important. And if you are interested to look more, so you can scan, these are the links related to the slides. Okay, So this project is actually is created by W3C and a lot of good developers trying to test our web world. I mean, the old browsers they are passing the standards in the previous slide, and this is the dashboard for it. So you can see at the the last version of Chrome. So they are passing or not? And you can go to the GitHub and check all tests. There are a mixture of tests written in C or JS or TypeScript, a lot of things. Okay, this is the history of test automation that we have. So in 1993, the web is introduced to the world. Okay, so soon, after some years, there is a good actually guy that tries in in their company lab trying to test their application, and they have created Selenium, right? So what is Selenium WebDriver? So there were another tool, that it's called WebDriver, and in some point they joined together and they have created Selenium WebDriver, which is now still we are using in 2011. Okay. And in 2009, Node.js has been introduced, and a lot of things on the top of Node.js is created, right? So after that, in 2018, actually WebDriver became as a specification, a standard. So when the Selenium WebDriver, or after Node.js has been introduced to the world, there were actually, from that time, a lot of automation tools like Test Cafe, like, WebDriver, Cypress, Appium has been introduced, right? Have been introduced. Okay, so this is also WebDriver ecosystem. This is a slide from Selenium Conference 2023, Chicago. So these are the ecosystem of what we have related to Selenium. We have WebDriver specifications at the top of everything, and we have implementation of WebDriver that tools tried to actually create tools that we can use for automation. So in general, we have 3 implementation of WebDriver specifications. The first one is Selenium, WebDriver IO, and also something that's called PHP WebDriver, which is dedicatedly for PHP. Okay, so Selenium is the biggest, and on the top of Selenium, we have a lot of tools, Appium, Selenite, or Selenium library for a robot framework. And this one, Selenium-based, is my favorite. It is like Selenite, but for Python. And on the top of WebDriver IO, we have Serenity.js and other things. Okay, so what is Chrome DevTools? So I'm sure that at least you have used one of these tabs in your browser when you right-click on Nespect or F12. You can, interact with elements on the web. You can run JavaScript in console or see the application, or catch the application problems. You can go to the network and catch it and everything. So this is a part of Chrome that is actually created by Google first, and then a lot of, developers from other companies or open source community trying to add something to it. And my favorite part is this part, is recorder. If you haven't looked at this, try right after this meetup, go and open the recorder. They are doing a lot in that recorder. It is basically for actually for performance testing, but you can record everything you are doing in the browser and you can run after it. And also you can export for Cypress and other things. Okay, let's go. So we have, let's categorize actually. We have 2 big category of test automation tools. The first one is high level, that they run actually JavaScript on the browser using web APIs, right? So we have Test Cafe and Cypress in this category. We have another category that they use either WebDriver Classic or Chrome DevTools protocol. These are two protocols that they can do the automation on the top of them. The first family is Selenium, WebDriver.io, Appium, Nightwatch, and the second one is Puppeteer and Playwright. Okay, so we know about them. Please skip the first one, and we are going to talk about the second one, right? Okay, next slide. So what is the difference between these tools? Probably you know about WebDriver. When you want to run test on the browser, you need something called WebDriver binary. It is actually sending your request through HTTP request. But in Chrome DevTools protocol, there is no WebDriver binary, and you are actually you send your request through WebSocket communication. And this is the main difference between these two types. And we call this as low levels, okay? So let's compare these two types of tools. The first one is the Chromium based. So who knows what is Chromium based browsers? Yeah? Okay. And no, I mean asking what browser is not Chromium based? Exactly. Firefox, Safari. Great. So the first problem is that the Chrome DevTools based automation tools cannot run your test against, for example, Safari. Okay, so, but in Selenium we don't have such problem. But there are a lot of things that you can do with, for example, Playwright, but it is not possible with Selenium. If it is possible, it is some kind of workarounds or tweaks like Selenium Wire or after Selenium version 4, you can do some things with the Chrome DevTools protocol. You can open WebSocket connection, but this is not some, this is again, although it is from Selenium, but it is some kind of workaround. So we have HTTP request connection, but on the other hand, we have WebSocket connection. Driver binary is needed. We don't need driver binaries to download a version of Chrome browser. But I know that Selenium manager has been introduced from version 4.6. It is the previous WebDriver manager, and you no longer needed to pass your WebDriver address to your Selenium. You can just import Selenium WebDriver and WebDriver.chrome. It will handle for you. So, but still, it is needed. And by the way, it is handled by Selenium. So this is the most important thing here. The connection is monodirectional. So what does it mean? When you search for an element and you're waiting to one element to be appeared on the page, it is not still interactable. For example, you cannot click on that element on the page. But you should wait for some moments, for example, explicitly say to wait for some condition. And behind the scene, Selenium are trying to actually requiring this element to be clickable or to be actionable, okay? But because this is HTTP request, this is monodirectional, and it cannot wait for the response from the actual browser. But on the other hand, we have bidirectional. This is a WebSocket connection, like you're chatting with someone in WhatsApp, you can wait for the response. It is like that. You just say, wait for click on the element, and yeah, as soon as the element will be interactable, it will click on that element, okay? So there are a lot of things like monitoring console, for example. When your application, when you want to say, for example, console like something, it is not possible with Selenium. Or you want to intercept network, what does it mean? So when you are signed up in a page, for example, or logging, username, password, and click submit, you want to wait, for example, for receiving a response from the login request, if it is 201 or not. So this is not possible. Yes, it is possible with Selenium Wire, but this is a workaround again. So this kind of stuff comes from Chrome DevTools, which is possible in DevTools. Okay, so this is a good compare between WebDriver Classic and Chrome DevTools. But some other things also are here, but these are the most important things. Now, what if we try to combine these two types of tools together? So we will have the bidirectional connection, WebSocket connection, and also we can run our automation test against all browsers in the world, okay, any type, even the browsers that we don't know about them, and they will be introduced in the future, right? So to achieve this, we need to something that we should be in a place to not the WebDriver required. Okay, so this is called WebDriver BiDi. This is a new protocol, a new standard. So it is coming from the WebDriver from W3C. So any browser should implement this in the future, and this is a good thing. That this is not just a tool that, like a lot of tools that introducing every day, but this is actual and a standard. It should be implemented, right? Okay. So, and as you can see, this is the WebDriver BiDi specification, standards that it is available. You can go and read and how they defined, and yeah. So this is the protocol of WebDriver BiDi. This is the WebSocket connection, any browser, any automation tool. These are three important things here. So in order to achieve this, there should be a big team, right? And this team should come from any browser team, Microsoft, Google, Apple, and we should also have someone from Selenium, other teams, right? So we have actually, I will go. So which feature, I will explain which team are actually working on that. So which feature are actually, which problems are WebDriver BiDi going to resolve? First of all, listen for DOM events. So what is DOM events? When you hover your mouse somewhere in the elements, something happened behind the scene, or an element change, and this is an event, or how to say, it is JS event, or that's called, and the browser can catch it, but now using this protocol, you can catch as well. You can monitor console logs, you can easily say console log with this protocol. You can monitor your application, for example, went wrong somewhere or through an exception, but easily, you know that in Cypress or Playwright, you can catch that error and you can have a reflect in your automation test. You can pause your automation, I don't know. You can stop your automation or do something about it or report to the developer. Now it is possible with this protocol. And also you can mark backends and intercept network. What does it mean? So who knows what the meaning of the marking backend? Yeah, so I will explain. When, for example, you have a service that it is responsible for do something for you, but this service is currently unavailable. For example, you are using a third-party API from a payment system like, I don't know, a Stripe or so, where it is currently unavailable. You can actually tell your front end that the response is 2001 instead of 50, for example, 3 or something like that. So you are changing, you're simulating your backend. So this is possible now with using this protocol. You can record your traffic, everything happening on the backend, and also some other things like getting full page screenshot in Appium in the future. It will be available. And also, as I said, we have some tools in Chrome DevTools like Recorder, Page Insights, that they are responsible for getting the performance information about any request, page loading, or other things. Now you can do it with Selenium. Okay, it is really interesting. And other things. Okay, so, oops. Now, the question that I asked, who is working on this project? A big team from browser vendors, from Google, from Microsoft, from Safari, from Mozilla, and also from automation tools like Selenium, and from testing providers, browser stacks, Outlab, and they are making our world to a beautiful, more beautiful place. Okay, so a question here. What will be happen to Chrome DevTools protocol? It is going to be deprecated? No. The reason of creating Chrome DevTools protocol is for debugging purpose. The way that you are using every day, it will remain on the browsers, the Chromium browsers, that WebDriver BiDi will help you to do more with Chrome DevTools protocol. So Puppeteer, another question. Puppeteer, so we know that Puppeteer is a CLI tool that has been introduced with Google several years ago. It was for actually debugging purpose for DevTools. But because of the speed of Puppeteer and it is really interesting, they turned it to an automation tool, but it is still going to be exist. It is not going to be deprecated. But Chrome, this protocol will turn Puppeteer to be a better automation tool as well. Okay, so when we have access to it, actually, we have access. Now you can do this test with Selenium, with Puppeteer, with WebDriver IO, using this protocol. It is a still in progress project. And now I'm going to do some demo with Selenium, with Puppeteer, and with WebDriver IO, and we'll come back to answer any question. I should use this laptop. Thank you. Okay, great. So this is a Selenium demo project. So it is a simple JS, actually, node project. We have 3 demo tests here. This is, I'm importing Selenium WebDriver and then Chrome. And then I'm creating my driver here. This is the golden part, enabled BiDi. So it will enable, it will open WebSocket connection. And then, as you can see, I'm creating an inspector here. And when here, I'm saying that if you cache any console log, please show me this console log with this message. So we are now expecting to see a message with console message received with this information that we are caching from the inspector, right? And then actually, I'm going to open this website. This is a website from Selenium, and there is a page that it is better to open instead of talking about it. So, okay. Now, so this simple website, it is from Selenium, has something here, a button that what will be happen when we click on it. So this is, I'm not Russian speaker, but yeah, I knew that it was the last item, so I found it. Okay, so this is our console log. When we click on this button, it will show us a console message. It is like typing console like here. Oh, again it is. Let me. Oh, okay, no problem. No, I got it. No, that's the problem. Yeah, I should learn Russian, I think. Yeah. Okay, it is like this. No? Oh, consul. Yeah, first letter is thank you for that. If it was a bike, I couldn't find what is the problem. It is the same C. How it is different? But I know it is. It sounds S in Russian, right? Okay. This is the same, right? So we are going to do to catch this console log, and we are expecting to see this message. So this is a Node project. I will a JavaScript file using Node. So now it is running. It's opening browser. Okay. So I removed the closing browser to see what happened. This is our console log. We see hello world here, and we also can see this in our console. It wasn't available before in Selenium. There is something here that it will open every time when you are using the BiDi protocol. It is some kind of information related to this protocol, right? So we have logs from debug, we have logs from BiDi, the WebSocket connections, and we have also logs from Chrome DevTools. And thanks to Selenium guys to add this, but it will be here. I don't know for now, but so every time you will have this page. If you close this page or refresh, your test will be broken. Okay. So let's do one more thing using, for example, WebDriverIO, if you are familiar with it. So the same story, we are creating browser here. We call our driver as a browser, and we open WebSocket URL. So this is the place that we enable WebDriver BiDi protocol. And this is an event from Chrome DevTools. We are actually subscribing on WebSocket event, which is like.entry added. So now we are saying that if this like will be happens, please show this on the console. And this part is just opening this file. So I'm using this file as our website, right? It is possible. You can use any HTML file as a website. So this is again another page with two buttons. This button, when I click on this button, there is an application error. It is some kind of problem with our application JS error, right? So with this message, things went bad. Now let's do it. And now here, we are expecting to see the problem. If our application went wrong and there is a, I don't know, but exception error, so we can cache it in our automation. Let's see if it is working or not. Not again, this is the JavaScript file. WebDriverIO demo. Yeah. So if we go to our console, we can see this error message, and WebDriverIO has a good logs here, a lot of logs, but we are expecting to see this. Things went bad. Okay. I believe that this much. And also, we can run this Puppeteer. Let's do it, quickly do it. Puppeteer is a CLI tool. So we see everything on the CLI here, in the console. And yeah, the same story. We are clicking on that button at the first test, and we are showing this console message here, hello world. Okay, so yeah, okay. So any question? That's all I wanted to talk about. Also, if you want more information about Selenium support, how to can do with WebDriverIO or this protocol, or even a WebDriver BiDi dashboard, you can follow these links. Okay. And this is my LinkedIn page. I will appreciate if you can make a connection. Yeah.
Thank you for interesting technical talk. And what about mobile browsers and remote controls from desktop Selenium tests, for example?
Yeah. So in Selenium, we have two contexts, which is native mobile application and also, so native mobile application are done with Appium. It is another story. So we have two contexts. If you want to continue automation with desktop browsers, you should use Selenium. But if you want to do a browser context on mobile, I'm not talking about native application, I believe you are asking about this context, you should wait for Appium team to implement this feature. It is not implemented yet in Appium.
What about some kind of low-level APIs? I mean, something like web workers when application just prefer rendering not in DOM, but directly to some image area and share memory between browser context and web worker, or have complex context with 𝐜𝐫𝐸 or maybe web GPU. Could Selenium BiDi and could WebDriver cover this not complex use case?
So is it possible with Chrome DevTools protocol based tools like Play? If, for example, my question, the Playwright currently resolve your problem? Yes. If it's resolved, or any Chrome DevTools protocol, or if you can do some tweaks using CDP, it will open doors to do such things.
Okay, I understood. So if we have support to from the browser to open these low-level objects via debug protocol, then WebDriver BiDi will allow access to it. Okay.
Exactly.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Mike. Thanks a lot for presentation.
You're welcome.
This was really useful. I have a question. I'm not a QA. I'm just developer which uses Cypress a lot. And you are a Cypress ambassador. I just knew this, really. I'm amazed. So can you please tell me, does the Cypress really have a future? And how is it like kind of... no, I mean, I like Cypress, but there is a lot of talk in Armenia that Cypress is kind of not a good thing to bet on for a long term, kind of, but I just really like it. And I wonder, so maybe my question sounds a bit stupid because I didn't understand the core of test, but so Cypress works with a lot of browsers, and I want to understand, does it use this BiDi protocol to do this, or it's just JS thing? So that's my question.
Cypress will not going to use WebDriver BiDi protocol as I know about, because it is not possible with Cypress. It is in I don't know. It is different in their nature. They're like running, for example, document query string some element and then click on it. This is the way Cypress. Your question are finished?
Yeah.
Okay, about your first question, actually, yes, I'm Cypress ambassador. It is because of my contribution of Cypress, but I'm not representative of the managers to talk about the future. But as I knew that they are working on it, yes, there is a problem that the only, I don't know, way that they're creating money is because of Cypress dashboard, and there are a lot of workarounds for this to, for example, running parallel tests. But they're adding a lot of good features, especially the last ones like iron test replay or other things that makes dashboard really, really interesting and valuable for use. So I think it makes sense for companies to pay for this feature. But yes, you're right. This is a problem. They are working on it. They have a lot of investors, and also, but I'm not sure how they are going to address this. But because this is a great tool, and I don't think that it will be deprecated. Yeah, I'm not a marketing guy. I don't know how to resolve this issue. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I have a question about BiDi protocol. Does it support parallel tests? So one Chrome instance and 100 tests in parallel.
Yes, sure. So we use Selenium Grid for parallel testing Selenium, and if Selenium supports BiDi protocol, for sure Selenium Grid will support as well. Yeah, it is possible.
Okay, and which browser, excluding Chromium, already have support for BiDi protocol?
Apple Team Safari is not supported yet, but I'm sure that Chrome and Chromium, Edge, and these browsers are supported. Firefox, I'm not sure, but I think yes, it is possible. Yeah, I remember that I ran one test inside. But Safari, not yet.
Yeah, and mobile Chromium browsers also can be connected.
Yes, but as I knew that you should use Appium Web Context for it, right? If you mean that, if you need Appium for it, so you should wait for Appium to implement this feature. This is an in progress and ongoing project, and they are working on it, and for sure there might be some problems or issues, or not all browsers, but as a QA engineer or developers or QA automation, we should be aware of this and we should know about this feature.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you too.
Hello, thank you for presentation.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I just wonder how we are going to use this WebDriver bidirectional with the remote WebDriver, and how the code will look like, which capabilities we are going to use.
Yeah, so the first question, it is backward compatible. You can gradually add this to your project, and still using WebDriver Classic. I think this is the same question about using Selenium Grid. So you should wait. I'm not saying that it is ready to use for, in the big scale in CI or in your current project. You should practically try, you can practically. And I'm not sure if I get your question well about, are you locating for a specific feature, or you're dealing with such a problem you want to resolve, or?
You described the intercept method, for example. There can be a lot of usage of it. And
yeah, sure, you can use it. You can even try to use it now, but currently the intercept feature is not implemented. But console, like now it is implemented, or some things that was in the, I don't know, the first 2-3 bullet points. But in the future, yes. Future, it is not 2 years from now, 2, 3, or 6 months, or next year in 2024. Yes, you can do intercept in your scale, in your project. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you too.
And the last question. Thank you for the presentation. It was really interesting. And I'm not a developer also. Oh, I'm not a QA also. And,
no problem.
I'm just a simply developer. I have played with, in my life, I have played with Puppeteer and also with Playwright just for fun. Yeah, and for me, like right now, it's a bit of mishmash. There are a lot of automation tools, and you mentioned today Selenium, right? And it looks like you're a fan of Selenium and you really love it. So I'm just curious, what should I pick if I'm going to test something? What tool should I take?
Oh, okay, good question. Very good question. This question I actually asked a lot of times every day. Guys asked from each other. So yeah, so in order to choose the test automation tool, the first question should be actually the language you're going to do the automation. For example, if you are a Pythonista or you are a Java developer, for sure you cannot use Cypress. So, but you should go through the other tools. The next one is who is going to do the automation for your team, for your project? If the developers guys are going to contribute on your project, if you are going to do the automation in the same repository as your front-end project, so if you are the only QA in your team, only QA automation, you are going to create this framework project from scratch, or you will have some support from your developers. So these are all questions that you should ask to Ines. And also about the problems. For example, you are a Java, you know JavaScript, your developers will help you. You are going to add Cypress at the same repository as a front-end project, but your project will have, for example, I don't know, native mobile application, iOS, Android in the future. So it is not possible to do the automation with Java. So with Cypress. So you should not go with scale with Cypress in this phase. But there is another direction. If you are going to learn for yourself, for sure, I will say to anyone that if they are trying to learn automation, they should go with Selenium, for sure, because there are some basics, fundamental things about it. Even if you are going to learn Python, JavaScript, doesn't matter. Selenium supports almost all programming language. Yeah. So, but then after you can work around with Playwright and Cypress and other JS tools, which is really, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
And
You're welcome.
one small question.
Sure.
Regarding this standard BiDi, I'm just curious, what's problem they're trying to solve by this unification? Like, where to use it? Why not just simply pick a right tool? As you said, if I'm, for example, okay, I'm not just developer, right? I can take a Playwright, for example, and use it. And it will be a good choice for me, for example. But why should I even care about this unified protocol?
Yeah, very good question. So you're asking that, okay, in Playwright, we have Chrome DevTools support, but why we should use Selenium for this? This is your question. First of all, is Chromium-based browser. It is supporting all the browsers behind. The second one is that if you are going to do Selenium with using, for example, enabling CDP on Selenium before, you are still doing monodirectional, which means you are sending requests, waiting for the request. No, you should, again, if there is no response, you should requiring. But in WebSocket connection, you can wait to receive the, I don't know, the response from the, when you click on something. And since this is a specifications, a standard, so it should be used, and I believe in the future Playwright also can enable this feature. So this is a standard for web. So the tools, it doesn't important. This is a standard on the top of everything. So yeah. But it will resolve a lot of problems. Yeah. Good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mohammad.
everyone.